There's so much news coming out, so many things moving the market up and down, big volatility coming out. With that being said, there's a lot of things, and I'm going to be telling you guys the news and everything that you guys need to know. And I know you guys got some questions like, is the stock market going to go up or down? Are we back in the bullish trend? Or are we going into that bearish trend? Is my wife going to divorce me? All these questions I'm going to be answering today. With that being said, yesterday or 2 days ago, I think on Friday, we had a green day, a little bit of a buyback. But if you really think about it, a buyback could really mean a lot of things, right? Because we've been losing a key percentages with Nvda and with overall stock market, honestly. With that being said, since we went like 6 days in a row, red in the SPY. With that being said, being consistently down for a couple of days and just having like bearish days recently, I think that we just had like a little buyback, and especially if you look at it in the 4 hour time frame, Nvidia is looking decent. We have 3 green candles kind of printing, so you can see Nvidia up at the upwards. But with that being said, a SPY overall, I think SPY we got some decent green candles for the 4 hour time frame too. But I think you got to look at it more in the day time frame. Look at it in the day time frame, it could help you out a little bit more because low key we do have just one green candle. So honestly, Monday we might have a little bit of a gap fill upwards, and then maybe have a bounce downwards and or come up just a little bit more and then start that bearish trend once again, and or we might bounce back. I just want to say before I start more in this video, I'm not really on any side, honestly. I'm a day trader. I'm not going to be bullish. I'm not going to be bearish. I'm going to see how moving that day, because honestly, like as we've seen, we had like 6 bearish days and then 1 green day. So I'm going to be bearish on these days, depending on how the charts look, and I'm going to be bullish on this day. That being said, I do have a long term, and I'm just holding and dollar cost averaging as I go. And I recommend doing the same thing. It's not really a time to sell quite yet. We're only down like 5% on the SPY. So we're not doing too bad, but we're going to be talking a little bit more on the charts a little bit later. So keep that on your mind and on your radar. With that being said, with the tariffs, Trump's or first time that we had tariffs, this is kind of how the market was moving, right? This was our first time that we had tariffs. This was back in December 2018, and then we had the 2020 crash, you feel me? But with that being said, we did come down a decent amount, and we're looking at it in the weekly time frame. So with that being said, 1, 2, 3, we had 3 red weeks, and then we had 1 green week, but it still kind of went down. And then so basically like 5 red weeks in a row, and then we kind of came back a little bit, and then we came down even more. But with that being said, if you just look at it, if you just give it a few months, just dug it out for a few months, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, around 3-month time frame, we started going green again, and then we started going up, and then you guys know 2020. But every time that we crashed, we went up anyway. So don't be afraid to dollar cost average. And if you really look at it, if you really think about it, even if we're in this area right here, it's not really too late to, there's really no point in selling unless you just want to sell up here and then buy down here. But it's kind of hard to, find out when the stock's going to sell off and when to find out when the dip is. But I'm not against anybody trying to sell their long term and then buying it back down here or down here, but if you really think about it, from this mark, like this is when we hit our highs recently. I'm talking about recently too. Let's use it as an example, right? So recently we hit the highs on SPY, right? And this is where we are right now, and we might come all the way down here, some percentages, maybe 15%, 10, 15% if we keep going down. But then if we give it a few more months, we're back up to those highs, and if we give it a few more months, we're back up to those even more highs, and then maybe we'll have a lockdown. But this is like a lot. I believe this is a lockdown. I'm 90% sure this is a lockdown. So that's kind of why we crashed. But even then, look at this, the lockdown, and then boom, came back. You feel me? But with that being said, I kind of just wanted to show that example to you guys to kind of show what all was going on. We also had, Trump, beefing with the Ukrainian president. That's some news. I recommend going to watch that. It's kind of funny if you guys don't take it too serious. The comments are kind of funny too, but yeah, man, it's kind of wild. We do got earnings. So if you guys want to screenshot this real quick, I'll give y'all some time while I'm yapping. But I think the main ones that I'm kind of looking for is Tuesday. We got Target, Best Buy. So if you guys remember a while back, or I think the last earnings, I think Walmart like bypassed Target, and people like Walmart more. So we might bring up some price targets with Target, and or Target might fall down again, Best Buy, I'm kind of hyped to see Best Buy. We got we got the 5090 out, I believe it's out already. Maybe people are going to buy it from there. some other places, some new computers and stuff like that. We just had Christmas. Actually, it might not be the Christmas earnings, but I'm just hyped to see what Best Buy is going to do. If it does decent, I might add it to my long term. I don't know. I got to do some more research on Best Buy, honestly. If you guys want to see a long term video, just comment down below, honestly. And then CrowdStrike. I think CrowdStrike is a decent stock that's after close on Tuesday. We have Foot Locker on Wednesday. I think Foot Locker kind of moves a decent amount sometimes. I watch those earnings a lot because you can get a decent amount. Rigetti, however y'all say it, but Rigetti, that stocks has been moving a decent amount. RGTI, I do recommend looking at that after close on Wednesday. That is a decent stock. We also got, they didn't even know BJ's was still a thing, but BJ's, Costco does pretty good. Broadcom, we got Broadcom on Thursday. That one's going to be a decent one. Big Bear AI. And I think that's the ones that I'm kind of looking into. But if you guys want to screenshot this real quick, feel free to, Also on the calendar, it's going to refresh. I don't know why it does that all the time. But basically, we got some PMI data coming out on Monday. Construction spending that might not move too much. ISM, auto sales might move some stocks like Ford and stuff like that. That's okay to be announced. To be announced on Monday though. We have Tuesday. Nothing really major on Tuesday, unless it shouldn't be anything bad on Tuesday. Wednesday we got ADP employment. We got some PMI data on Wednesday. I think that's 15 minutes after market open. Factory orders, ISM services. Thursday, we got the initial jobless claims. That's probably going to move the market, so keep that on your mind. We got maybe U.S. trade deficit, maybe wholesale inventories. I think that moved the market before. And then on Friday, we got the U.S. job reports, U.S. unemployment rate, U.S. hourly wages. Okay, so 8:30, so an hour before the market open, we're probably going to see the market move a little bit. So keep that in mind if you guys got some overnights. I'll be playing some overnights, but recently, man, the market's just been looking like some day trades, honestly. But yeah, man, I think that's maybe consumer credit too at 3 p.m. So keep that on your mind. So we got some decent things on the calendar. If you guys want, y'all can screenshot this. I'll scroll it really slow one more time. Boom, they got screenshots. All right, but with that being said, let's talk about some news. So we're going to talk about some things I got written down, and then we're going to talk about some news articles that I have. So stagflation has been talked about a decent amount. So people are very worried about the potential return of stagflation, a combination of high inflation and sluggish economic growth, reminiscent of the 1970s. Indicators such as the persistent inflation above the Federal Reserve's 2% target, slowing GDP growth, and global trade disruptions contribute to this concern. This scenario presents challenges for the policymakers attempting to balance interest rate decisions with economic support. So, stagflation, you guys don't know what that is, combination of high inflation and sluggish economic growth. That being said, people are kind of scared with that. That's why we kind of have been seeing a sell-off. If we look at the weekly, once again, look at this. Honestly, I'm kind of curious. What is the monthly looking like? Apple doing decent on the month though, but weekly, man, 10% on Nvda this week. Even with that little comeback on Friday, we had almost 2% with Apple. Tesla 17%. Tesla is insane right now, man. Everybody's hitting on Tesla stock right now. It does not stop. Honestly, if you guys remember Apple, I think Apple a few weeks ago, man, Apple was like that, man. Everybody was suing them, was hating on them. But yeah, man, that's basically what Tesla is right now. Sorry. Okay, but President Trump's recent tariffs proposals on imports, including cars, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals, have heightened investors' anxiety. The potential for increased tariffs on goods from China, Canada, and Mexico adds up to the uncertainty. These measures could negatively affect the economy and financial markets, prompting investors to reassess their strategies with geopolitical tensions. With that being said, honestly, if you really think about it, man, tariffs, yeah, it can bring down profits and it's going to make consumer spend more, basically. It's going to make the consumer spend more, which means that they might spend less and buy less. But with that being said, I want to know you guys' opinions on tariffs, honestly. I think my opinion, I feel like it's reasonable to do an even tariff. If somebody else is tariffing us the whole time and we don't have any tariffs on them, it's reasonable that way. But on the other hand, I think that we should just come to agreement to not do tariffs at all. But I also think that the market should not react as negatively to tariffs Because in reality, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as it looks. Okay, it's not as bad as the market is treating it. I got to be honest. But that being said, man, I want to know you guys' opinions on it because maybe I don't know too much, but it's kind of how I feel, you know. But that being said, the U.S. stocks are experiencing a lot of volatility in February. The Nasdaq recorded its largest monthly decline since April of 2024, dropping nearly 4%. The SPY and Dow Jones average fell approximately 1.5% each. While February often exhibits weakness post-presidential elections, with that being said, some cash reserve and market outlook. Despite a record of $6.9 trillion held in money market funds, the anticipated bullish impact on the stock market has not materialized as is expected. Also, the Chinese EV maker threatening Ford and GM. So keep this on your mind because maybe Ford and GM might go down if you guys are in, but they have been kind of overtaking Tesla for a little bit. So now they're coming for other businesses. And then SoftBank in talks to borrow $16 billion to fund AI, which is probably going to bring Nvidia stock up maybe, but 16 billion low key isn't really too much. I mean 16 billion is a lot of money, but compared to like, $100 billion deal that other companies do. So keep that on your mind. But honestly, didn't SoftBank talk about doing the $500 billion deal? What? I don't know, man. I'm confused, man. There's always different talks. That being said, let's look at the overall market, how the overall market is looking. We are looking pretty green, and we do have some gaps to fill upwards. Honestly, man, this dip wasn't even that bad. We just had a lot of bad days, literally. But honestly, man, the thing about it is that if we come back green, we can come back stronger. With that being said, we might make more lower highs, so keep that one on your mind. I really want to see how Monday looks. I'm going to trade really, really slow. Going to give me a little day trade, scope me out something, but legitimately, man, I'm looking at that 598 level first. And then after 598, I'm looking at that 600 level, of course, and then that 603 level. And then we have a big gap to fill up here. But after that, man, I think 606 and then 610 is going to be next. And then we might even break new highs, just depending on how everything goes. I think next week, the only thing that can really push us up higher is that if those, I think March 4th, we have tariffs like coming official. But if we can get that postponed or just something fixed, that can fix the markets potentially, okay? Potentially fix the markets if we can get those tariffs lifted. So keep that on your mind. But to the downside, we do got some gaps to fill here first. So the first gap is going to be 592 and then going down to that 585 level. But also look at 580 also. And then another level to look at is that 580 level. So we got some gaps to fill downwards first before we get to like the bigger gaps. But the bigger gaps, man, is wild. So the bigger gaps, we got 75, we got 68, we got 65. Honestly, I'm just looking at what hits the most, and then we even got even more gaps to fill downwards. So keep those ones on your mind. We're not really down bad yet, though. We're not that down bad yet, but those are some gaps to look at for the overall SPY. So keep that one on your mind. That being said, Apple kind of has been moving decent, but it's kind of harder to read a little bit because you don't know what they're doing. But they did have I think they had some bad news, but it might not show up here. But I forgot what it was. But with that being said, we are coming up with all tech stocks, honestly. So the gaps to fill upwards on Apple is all the way up to that 250 level once again, maybe even try to break those highs. But with that being said, Apple is looking pretty decent. I think the first level is going to be that 242 level first. And then once we break past that 242, 243, and then going up to that 244 level. And if we can break all of those levels, we could see it retest that 250. Of course, look at other levels like 245 and stuff like that. But I think we might be able to test that 250 level, honestly, if we don't get any more bad news with Apple. So keep that on your mind and on your radar. But to the downside, we do got some gaps to fill downwards. First one is going to be 240. Next one is going to be 237. And then coming all the way down to this level right here, that 233 level, breaking down to that 230 level, and then breaking down even more to that 225. We'll break below that 225. It's going to be kind of wild, but we might even see a bigger push downwards just depending on how the stocks really move. This isn't really an accurate line, but we might move in this direction and or bounce up just a little bit more and then bounce down more. So keep that in your mind. My estimations, like I said before, I'm not bullish or bearish. So I'm going to give you guys both sides what I'm thinking about. Like if it goes up, that's what I think it's like the levels is going to hit. And then if it goes down, that's what levels is going to hit too. I'm not really bullish or bearish. I'm the type of person that takes it day by day. If it's, we can probably be bullish on Monday and then be bearish on Tuesday, you know? So I just want to say that. So if I'm telling you guys both levels, don't really get too mad, you know? But yeah, Nvidia has been doing okay. We're kind of coming back. The earnings, honestly, man, the earnings wasn't even bad. I think it was just how the market was moving on Thursday. So legitimately, I think we might get a bigger push with Nvidia, hopefully, if the markets look great. With that being said, look at that 127, 130, 133, 137, and that 141 level to the upside and to the downside. I'll look at that 120 first, you know, and then that 118 going down to that 115. If it touches that 115 mark, man, I'm loading up, man. I'm already loading up. I'm loading up on my long term dollar cost averaging that. And then if it goes down even more, we're doing some 110, and then we're probably going to load up at 105. And then if it gets below 100, man, I'm selling another long term and buying and getting into Nvidia, man. Not even gonna lie, man. But honestly, it just depends on if it goes down or not. Honestly, I think we're gonna be pretty green with the market. We might have hit another bottom, or we might just push upwards. But then we might have like a green day, red day, green day, red day. You know, so keep that on your mind. Palantir, man, Palantir. I think this is another one that might have potentially hit a bottom, but at the same time, I'd be very, very careful because honestly, I don't know yet. You know, it does got that bad news, but at the same time, the way Palantir is used, I think Palantir still got, you know, some good long term growth potential. You know, with that being said, with their business and everything like that, I think we might see a push upwards, but we can also see a push downwards. This one we got to zoom out for these levels because honestly, Palantir does got a lot of room to move. So to the upside, I will look at that $90 level going up to that $100 level. 100 is going to be key. That was key before. Kind of not really. It kind of bounced straight off of it, but kind of had like a little dip and it bounced off of it. And then looking at that 110 and then going up to that 115 level and then that 125 level. So keep that on your mind going up, going down. You got to look at that $78 level. And I mean, first look at that $80 level and then that $78 level going down to that $73 level and all the way down to that $64 level. This is kind of one level that I think we might be able to hit if we keep on going down. Only if we keep on going down. I think that's 64, around that $64 level is going to be a level that we hit to the downside. We might just have like a little dip and then buy back. But I think the second level we might be able to hit and then bounce off of is that $70 level. So keep that on your mind for Palantir. Tesla, man, I don't even, man, I don't even know. I made so much money with Tesla shorting it though, so I can't even complain. We do got earnings coming up on the 29th of April. So wait, yeah, 29th of April. So I guess keep that on your mind. That's next month though, so we still got some time. So with that being said, man, we did get a little push upwards though, a decent push honestly. I think on Friday, let me look at it real quick because I seen it move a lot. I think we opened up or we got all the way down to 280 and then went all the way up to 294. So you could have made a decent amount of money off this one. With that being said, man, I think honestly we might have hit a bottom. It kind of looks like a bottom, kind of, okay, kind of, because we can make, like, as you can see, we bounced down below, you know, had a decent candle and then bounced down lower. And then this candle kind of looks like a bottom, but not really, because then this red candle was fully red, right? So why I'm saying it looks like a bottom is we have a big candle here, right? Big candle here, and then a big bullish candle next to it, right? And then we got another big bullish candle. But it is kind of looking like the momentum is dying. So we might see just like a little bit of momentum here and then bounce down lower. So it's either going to bounce down lower, bounce up higher, you know? So kind of just use Monday to really see which way it is going because it can bounce both ways, you know? Okay, that looks looks kind of weird. But with that being said, some levels to look at with Tesla is indeed that $300 level I'm going to be looking at, that 305 level, 310, going all the way up to that 330 level. 330 is kind of key because we kind of hit it, kind of, not really. Because this day, we kind of just bounced fully, man. You could look at some other levels in this candle if you zoom in a little bit more, but I think 330 is a good key level to look at. Going up 340, 354, 363, and 369. Going to the downside, I will look at that 280, that 280 level first, my apologies, 290 first, and then that 280. And then we go all the way down. Honestly, past that, man, it's kind of hard, but I think the next one is going to be that 271 level and then that 262 level. But honestly, I think after that, man, I think we'll be Gucci, man. I think we'll get a little bounce. The thing about Tesla, man, we got the robots coming out, man. They're doing a whole bunch of different things. We had some decent, good news last week too. That's why I was kind of surprised to see it fall. I was gonna actually do, long this play just because of good news we had competition with Uber in California with their full self-driving taxis. I think that was the news, and then they were coming out with it in China. I think it became official. So we're getting some decent news with Tesla, man. But too many people are hating on it, man. I don't know what to say. So yeah. With that being said, let me get one more thing because I really want to see what it's trading at. So I believe this is live because we got to do it on here. But the Bitcoin is currently trading at 86 bucks, which isn't too bad. We closed at 84. So 86 isn't bad. We might be having a little bit of a rebound on Bitcoin, you know. With that being said, oh, that doesn't close. With that being said, we are getting a little bit of a rebound. So we're all the way up at that 86 right now. So we are testing this level right here, right now as of Sunday, right? So the next level to look at is at 89. With that being said, man, MSTR is one of those plays that I personally want to get into, especially if we start going bullish on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can hit that 100,000 again, this stock can potentially hit that $300 to $350 level once we break that 100,000. And I'm telling you guys this right now because if you guys buy a call option here and it goes all the way up to 300 to 350, it's going to change your life, even if you get one call option. So this is one play that I'm keeping on my radar because this is a great play that you can make a lot of money on, especially if you can read the Bitcoin charts. Because I did indeed, I think it was this day right here. Oh wait, no, it was kind of a while back. Hold on, let me try to look for it. Nah, I think it was this day. It was this day because I was gonna play either Tesla or this, and it was this day right here, and I played a put option on it, and I got it all the way up at that 260 level, I think, and then we played the put and we sold it at like 240. Man, we made a bunch of money that day. It was a it was what, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, man. That was one of my best trades I made last week. But honestly, man, if you could scope out some decent trades, this stock moves $20, $30 per move, depending on how Bitcoin moves. And it doesn't follow it like directly, but it kind of follows it a decent amount. And that is why I love it. Another one is IBIT. It's basically just an ETF that moves with Bitcoin. So this is another one I recommend getting yourself into, especially since it moves with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin, once it hits 100,000, it's at that $56 level. So you can play, maybe a 2-weeker, 3-weeker, and you can make a decent amount of money going up. And this is a safe trade because the trades are like 50 cents each or something like that. You got times to buy 100, so it's like $50. But $50, you can probably make $100 to $200 off a play. That's just like a low risk, high reward type of play. But with that being said, man, thanks for watching the video. Smash that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Let me know how you guys did last week, and let me know how you guys are doing trading. And let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys can just comment it down below. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out, man. Comment W if you guys watched until the end.